long pass right there for the truck. Oh, you just saw a 10-second diesel truck.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. So I got home from work a little bit ago, finished up the wiring. Now when I say finished up the wiring on the half dash, last night I actually pulled it all back apart. When we got done the last episode, I had actually started to loom all the wiring, and I was really tired. It was late and I was doing a half-assed job. So I looked at it the next day, said this just isn't going to cut it. Pulled it back apart, left it in the truck, but just went through it a little bit more systematically, did a nicer job, tidied things up. So as you can see, here's our harness. Everything's looking very nice. Got everything ran. Here's the gauges, the steering wheel stuff, our brake sensor, or pedal sensor, I should say. We got, I forget what this one's even for, so I didn't cut it off because I can't remember. Honestly, I don't think we need it, but at this point, I'm not going to go through it again. Ignition switch, light switch, or 4-ways, light switch. So everything's tidied up. I do have this one loose wire. This goes to the back of the gauge panel. So I'm pretty sure this goes to the parking brake right here. So I don't know if we need that to keep the light off or for indication. We don't need indication for this. So my plan is just to cut it out and depin it from the harness, but we still need to check. So if we were wrong with that, it's just going to be kind of thrown in there, to be honest. So that's where we're at. I want to clean this up because obviously I have shit all over the place. I broke the soldering iron out last night because I shortened up those 2 wires. They're actually all zip tied up here. But these wires, if you guys remember the twisties, the white with orange and gray tracer, and then there's one that's white with a blue and a gray tracer. These were like security wires. This one ran down here, across, and over the passenger side. So I shortened those up. So I want to get everything cleaned up, get the half dash back in, which we don't have to drop the steering column for, I figured out, which is good, and just see if everything works. That's kind of the game plan at this point. Get, you know, our throttle linkage back up there and just be done with this little project. This has taken me much longer than I anticipated, that's for damn sure. In other news, with the Bobcat zero turn, I replaced a bearing here on the one PTO pulley. It was sounding pretty gnarly, but also our PTO pulley did not have, it had the one bracket coming off the frame, but it didn't have the other bracket on the PTO to keep it from spinning. So I have a very basic template here of the holes I need. So I will make a bracket for that. And then after we get that in with our shaft sleeve, it should be ready to, it should be time to drive it and see how she runs. I do need to do a hydraulic oil change. I have the filter, just need to get the oil, and then we'll pull the deck off and go through the bearings on that. So guys, that's kind of what's going on around here. Let's get this half dash in and see how she looks and see if everything works. So no sooner did I get done putting the camera down from talking with you guys, and the guy who I bought the mower from called, just wondering how I was making out and all that kind of stuff, and you know, just curious whether I was getting it running right and all that. So he asked me, you know, you working on a tractor? I said, no, I got to make a bracket up for the PTO and all this. I said, I'm working on my race truck. Oh, what kind of racing? I said, well, drag race. You know, truck makes 1,000 horsepower and all this. Well, here back in the day, he used to do a lot of drag racing and street racing. He had a 446 pack, Challenger, plum crazy, he said, which is awesome. Just pretty cool. You know, I just, as you can see, it's gotten a lot darker out. I was on the phone with him for like 45 minutes just talking about back in the day when they used to drag race, street race, all that kind of stuff. That's cool. Those old muscle cars were the shit. That was an era to grow up in, I'm sure. And but yeah, the guy had a lot of interesting stories. It just seems like a pretty cool dude. So anyway, let's get back to this dash.
Could have done without that. Jeez, I'm an idiot.
Hood pop, check. Parking brake, check. So the half dash is fully installed, wiring and all. You know, the headlights are hooked up, the dash is hooked up, the gauges are bolted in, the trim pieces are in. I even put the trim on the steering column itself, as well as this trim piece here and the handle, just because, well, who doesn't want a handle? Other than that, you know, the ignition's hooked up, everything's hooked up. I still have our 4-ways down here. Eventually I'll probably put them up here. I don't know why I want the 4-ways. I guess I'm planning on breaking it on the street at some point, so figured why the hell not. That's the best I can come up with. Anyhow, we're ready to fire it up. Obviously, with the condition of our fuel system currently, we're not going to be able to actually fire the truck. We will be able to try and start it just to see if the starter goes. I also put the taillights in to see, make sure we get our lights and all that. Not that we can check reverse lights, but we can check that all out. We do have one issue. As you can see here, the brake pedal is hard up against the bracket for the brake indicator switch, and I don't know why that is. I mean, it's just on there hard. I tried to put the brake indicator in there, but it was just trying to pop it out. So we're gonna have to figure that out later. I don't know if it's just, it's got pressure on it and the truck hasn't been started. I have no idea, but we need to figure it out. All the bolts are in for the steering column, so it's where it's supposed to be. I don't know. All right, everything's hooked up. Let's give this thing a try. I'm expecting at least some check engine light codes because of the transmission. So there's our PRND. Let's see what happens. Nothing. That is not good. Got flashers. Got headlights. I'm not getting anything when I turn the key. All I'm getting is that, which is nothing. Basically our fuse panel's working, but we will try and clear the codes with the Mini-Max and see if that does anything. Which I will be surprised if it does, honestly. A lot of codes. Erasing. Erased all the codes. Still nothing. So, I don't know why the truck won't try and start. And I was sitting here trying to contemplate, like, what I maybe messed up or missed. Nothing's coming to me. Then I saw this connector. This is the one I said I thought was just for the parking brake. Maybe it's a little more important than that. I'm going to hook a ground up to it real quick and plug it in. We'll give it a shot. Here goes nothing. Still nothing. Oh, thank God. Woo. Woo. So guys, I've been sitting here for about the last half hour going over stuff. I really thought I fucked up with the wiring. Whew. I'm very happy right now. But a few minutes ago, I was the complete opposite. So let me give you a little rundown on what just happened. Got the dash all done, put the battery in. I was excited. I was like, we're going to start the truck, get everything going. Turn the key, nothing. Okay. Hooked up the Mini-Max, deleted the codes, tried it again, nothing. The only clicking I would get was from our relay for our fuse panel we put in way long ago. So, all right, thinking, hey, maybe I got a bad ground. So I took all the grounds off, and then I connected them straight to the battery. Still the same thing. Like the one ran over there to the passenger side, and you know, the windshield wipers would go all nutty, and this side it wouldn't start. So I unplugged them, and I was getting the same like dash indications as I did before. You know, all the lights on, all that kind of stuff. All right, I don't think that's it. And I'm thinking maybe I missed a ground, and I got to rip the whole harness apart. And I'm just thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Like, I also thought it was that one harness that I said I thought was just for the parking brake. Plugged that back in, grounded it, no dice, and at that point I kind of like lost hope. I mean, honestly, I was just so frustrated. I said, I completely fucked this thing up. I didn't do like enough testing in between cutting wires out like I had done previously. And then it kind of hit me. All the lights are on for the transmission, you know, P, R, and D. I'm like, well, I thought I could start it before like that, or at least Caitlin I could when we were messing with her. Well, when I was messing with her a couple years ago. You know what? Let me try it. So I took all those wires, I spliced them together, grounded them, still nothing. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Now I gotta think about it. Hold on. Cleared the codes. It made a little bit different noise, like it wanted to try and start. I got another click. What the? So I'm looking at it, and so I got the battery charger out. I hooked the battery charger up to the battery, let it sit for a few minutes while I'm sitting here just thinking of every other thing. I'm thinking, this is going to be the last thing. So after I hooked that up and everything worked, it was like a little bit of dumb shit I didn't think about. Like the transmission thing I didn't think was going to be an issue at all. And then I grabbed one of the batteries out of Caitlin. You know, we've been having some issues, and they've been sitting out for like a week now. So maybe those batteries are bad because I still have been having those issues with Caitlin. I don't know. All I know is that if I do this, it turns over. If the fuel system was set up and ready to go, it probably would start. So the whole night changed for me at that moment. It went from a complete another failure of like the last week to relief. So that's where I'm going to stop. The GoPro keeps giving me some SD card error, so hopefully this is all recording. But I keep restarting the GoPro and starting it up so I get a couple minutes. So if this is a little choppy in here, that's why. I don't know what's going on. And maybe it's just too full because I haven't deleted a bunch of stuff. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So it looks like this was a success. It worked. I was afraid the brake lights were just staying on because of what we had talked about earlier with our mount up there, but then I got remembering the switch is out of it, so if I push the switch in, the brake lights work. So that's cool. Also, hit the four ways work. Headlights work. So we're all good on that front. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think we're okay, but only time will tell for sure, but I'm definitely feeling a lot better about the night. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, follow along. Check out the Instagram @TurboTom. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Get out in your garage. Get the wrenching on your truck.